Hi everybody, Sky Carl here, and I had a small project that I wanted to throw out and just kind of share with everybody. I had this Pioneer SX 580. It was the middle of the line, a receiver, 78, 1979. Nice, really nice little stereo receiver. Like all the, most of the older Pioneers were just good stuff. Nichicon, uh, capacitors, everything was like top quality in there. And you can see this one is a little dirty in there. And I had it for a while and I was using it, and the dial cord popped on me. And I was getting a couple stations, and then I just didn't want to mess with it because dial strings they're just a pain to work on. And I had the old one, so I tried messing with that, and it didn't work right. I put it away for a while. I got the schematic for it. And then the other day I thought, it was over here in this one area of my house in the back room. I thought that'd make a nice little project to kind of get jump down and get running again. And so took it down, took it apart, and I'm looking at it. I thought, this ain't gonna be that bad. Well, the dial, for one instance. Whoever had this before me, I forget who I bought it from. I bought it, it's been quite a few years, I think mid 90s I bought it. And I got a good deal on it at the time. But whoever had it, the dial string must have been messing up with them anyway. And they took it apart, and what they did is they glued the dial to the shaft, the bolt shaft, the threaded shaft inside. And I could not get that off for the life of me. So I had to go inside. I had to undo the flywheel and take it off from there, and then have the shaft pull out through the front. And that made it turn into a real can of worms. But where there's a will. So I put it together and I got it wound, and it did work. I got it. I dug up the old schematic. I was on one of my older computers, and got that together, and looked at it, and finally figured it out, and got the string on, got it working. Took it to my workbench and made sure everything was all right, and then set everything up. After you put the string on, the best thing to do is to the glue the knots with just a drop of super glue. Now here in the back, there's for the antennas, and I pulled them off for the time being, just so you can see this. It has a balanced and an unbalanced area in there, and what that means is, for the balanced part of the antenna, means that the two wires coming in are the same kind of wires, and so the impedance or the resistance for that is balanced because it's the same. On the unbalanced, it's like when you use a coax, and one half is the shielding, the other half is the center wire, and they're not balanced. They're not the same resistance, so that's unbalanced, and that's all that really means. Now here we look and we see we got meters. It actually shows you how many wattage, how many watts you're using, what the wattage usage is. And for it's a 20 watt receiver, and that's more than enough that anyone would need for in your house. And like I said, this is a really, really nice little unit. Sounds really good. I had it apart because I had the schematic. I had all the information that I needed. I could have I could have tuned in the IF cans, and went down that whole tune-up part. And if it didn't sound good, that's what I intended on doing. But after I got hooked up, put an antenna on it, listened to it through the headphones, and wow, it sounded great. And I'm thinking, for right now, why should I fool with it? It sounds like it's right on the money. Now, if I was restoring this, yeah, just go through, I'd replace the capacitors, whether they're good or bad, whatever. Tune everything up, make sure everything is just the way it was originally. But for right now, yeah, I'm just using it as a small little receiver, maybe put it in one of the rooms, some nice, good quality speakers. I can hook a tape deck to it, I can hook up a turntable. So, I could set it up anywhere I want and it'll work great. So, I just, I put it back together, made sure everything was right and tight. I sit here, I'm looking, making double sure that everything was okay. I kind of figured it was. I'm watching the FM indicator. You get right on the money, and it'll that little needle will tell you that you're at the best spot in your FM. And then for your AM, if you look to the right on that dial, that little hash mark, that's for the AM. So when you get the best quality signal on your AM, it will go down in that area for you. Kind of like the future green eye tube indicator, when you had your best reception in the old days. But this turned out to be a really good unit. And like I said, I wanted to have something to kind of jump back in, get my feet wet, put a video out, and I thought, well, this would make a nice little project, and it did. It wasn't long and drawn out. It's just one of those things that I could put together, do some video on, and hopefully I'm going to get my girlfriend in the near future to help when I do start doing more videos. I'm going to get her to be a camera person, like my old pal Kelly, may she rest in peace, who passed away, did for me back in the old days, excuse me. So with that, everybody, I want to say have a fantastic day, and I'll look forward to talking to all of you real soon, and I should have more for you. Until then, thanks everybody, and God bless.